everyone. This week we're doing our video on Siesta Key to update you what is going on there on the island in terms of what's open and what the key looks like. So stay tuned. We came in from Stickney Point Road and went down Midnight Pass and towards the beach, and we were just initially really surprised at how nice it looked. There was not, I shouldn't say not, there was very little debris, nothing looked damaged. And again, we're not undermining how bad it was there. We know it was bad. We're just, again, super impressed with how well everyone did of cleaning up and how quickly they did to go from the damage that was there, weeks and a month ago, to us driving down and my husband saying, if I had not known there was a hurricane here, I would not have guessed that had happened. Now, that was between Stickney Point Road and the beach, where there was really just one little area that we saw some garbage that was at the street that needed to be taken out and hadn't yet. The beach parking lot was good, clear, actually more parking than at Lido, which there always is, but I felt like they had it fully cleared at Siesta Key. We did see, I think, 2 big mounds of sand where they had presumably cleaned up the parking lot. It was great there because they had the playground all cleaned up, and then they had the picnic tables were, no sand there. The main beach, Siesta Key, did also have the foot wash area was available and working. The drinking fountain was available and working. The only thing I wasn't sure about was the snack bar, because we were there early enough in the morning they wouldn't have been open either way, and I did not see a sign that said if they were open or not. The restrooms were open there as well, though, which was great. So you could really go there, spend the day, use the playground, use the picnic tables, use the beach, wash your feet, all the things like you could on any other normal day, which I thought was great. Then we decided to go through neighborhoods, and that is when we saw a lot more sign that there had been a hurricane there. Lots of houses had everything from vegetation that had been destroyed, they had, were cleaning up, to things that were obviously from their home being gutted, mattresses, just stuff. And that was very evident in some of those areas that they had had a major storm. Now, again, to not be nosy or feel nosy or disrupt people's lives with what they've gone through, we only went through, I don't know, 4 or 5 streets, all kind of in the same neighborhood. We did not go through the entire key. We did not go down at all by Turtle Beach. We just stayed in the main Siesta Key Village, Siesta Key Beach, and then some of the residential areas there. But there was definitely a lot of cleanup going on, and a lot of it was already cleaned. It was just waiting for all that debris and garbage and stuff to get picked up. So we did see that. I was talking to somebody a few days ago, and they had come down from the north to spend time here, and they were in a third floor condo, which was obviously in perfect condition, but they could see that work was being done on a first floor condo, and the man doing the work, they talked to him, for a little bit. And so they saw how bad it had been in some of those lower level places. So again, we're not saying that the key was not damaged. It definitely was. We're just saying that people have done a good job of cleanup, both residents who had their own homes that they were taking care of, as well as just the county for getting that cleaned up. We drove through Siesta Key Village. They did have 2 disaster relief semis that were there. We didn't see anybody working out of those. And my thought was, kind of surprised they were there, because the Siesta Key Village looked fine. Now, not all of the businesses were open. Some of them were. And again, part of that would be, I'm sure, as they're trying to reopen from damage, part of that could be maybe they are reopened and we just were there too early in the day. We left in the morning. So we're not a great source because of that to say for sure what was open and what was not open, but there were some businesses that were open in the Siesta Key Village area. In terms of buying or selling there, and I've said this before, but I remember a day or two after the hurricanes, when you couldn't even get onto the keys necessarily, we were still seeing property go pending. So whether that was a sight unseen or maybe they were negotiating beforehand, I have talked to some people who are a little more timid to buy right now. And I think every single one of them is from the north and even lives there now and is thinking more of like a second home. I will tell you that I would not be afraid to buy there at all, because hurricanes is just part of the risk of living in paradise, but you are living in paradise. You just know that in advance. So if you know that in advance, I wouldn't be afraid to buy there. Having seen the cleanup that was done, I wouldn't be afraid to buy there now. If you're wondering, am I going to buy a place that has been destroyed? I have seen listings in the MLS where they've said this property was destroyed because of the hurricane. You're just buying the land value, even though the structure was still standing or partially standing. But I would say if it were me, I would not be afraid to buy there. And the damage that we saw in the area, and again, we just drove in a few streets, but what we saw was more damage from flooding, not a home destroyed. So we didn't see any homes that were flattened or looked like they were going to be torn down. We definitely saw damage in terms of just their house had been gutted for sure, and they had definitely had flooding. So, when you're living in Florida and when you're living on a beautiful key and walking to the beach, that's just par for the course. And having driven around and a month later past all this, I would still say, for me, I wouldn't be afraid to buy there. It's still a beautiful place, but we can see from these storms that part of living in a place like that is just knowing that you could have hurricanes that could destroy your place. But it also shows how resilient they are. I mean, people were out cleaning their own yards. Like I said, it looked like there hadn't even been a storm when we first got off from Stickney Point Road and then down Midnight Pass. So people were cleaning up their own properties, their own business, and then the county got on it too. So I think for me, it would make me feel confident that if that happens again, or even if it's worse and it happens again, that people are definitely actively trying to get everything cleaned up. And here we are able to enjoy the beach and enjoy the playground and have open restroom facilities because of people taking pride in the key and
working on cleaning that up. So just like with Lido, I was personally impressed at that from both the county level and what they're doing to the homeowners and business owners who are trying to get things back so that they can be open and enjoying their homes and enjoying their businesses, and vacationers can enjoy where they are as well. I mean, it's not perfect. Obviously, you shouldn't expect it to be after not one but two hurricanes, but I would not shy away from coming down here because just like Lido, it's the same thing. They have businesses, they want to keep them open, that's their livelihood, and you can support that. And the weather's beautiful. It's not been quite as hot as it has been, so what a great time to come down for a day if you're local, or just for a meal or whatever, and come down to Siesta Key and go to the beach, go to the businesses, take a walk around, and maybe even lend a helping hand for someone that needs some work done at their house.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you want to know more about Southwest Florida, check out the videos that are on the screen.